So on this part of the section of the chapter 7.1, quiz 6.4, we have these two problems, okay? And it's asking to simplify. Now clearly we need to use our sum and difference identities. So let's start with the first one. Sine of alpha plus beta plus sine of alpha minus beta. Just for simplicity, instead of sine of alpha and beta, I'm just going to use sine of u plus v plus sine of u minus v. Again, you are allowed to do that because they're variables. So let's start with sine of u plus v. Well, by the identity, this is equal to sine of u cosine of v plus cosine of u sine of v. That's just the first part. That's just this. Now, by the same token, sine of u minus v, so plus, and this plus is this one. Now we write the identity of sine of u minus v, which is going to be, let me use a different color so we can differentiate them. Sine of u times cosine of v minus cosine of u sine of v. Now, let's look at what we can do to simplify. Well, first notice that this term and this one are the same, but cosine of u sine of v minus cosine of u sine of v equals 0. And then these terms are also the same. But since they're plus, then sine of u cosine of v plus sine of u cosine of v is just 2 times sine of u cosine of v. And that is the answer for the first one. Now, a problem like this. So cosine of u plus v times cosine of v plus sine of u plus v times sine of v. So let's use a different color. First, we do cosine of u plus v. So by identity, this is, and I'm going to put it in brackets because it's multiplying cosine of v. It's cosine of u, cosine of v. Since it's plus, we have to use minus. So minus sine of u, sine of v. Okay? Times cosine of v. So this is the first part. Okay? This is this part. Now, the second part, this one, let's put a plus in the middle. Okay? That corresponds to this plus. I know I'm moving back and forth, but it's to help you. Now, sine of u plus v, as you might expect, I'm going to put a bracket. Sine of u plus v is sine of u cosine of v plus cosine of v, u sine of v, times sine of v. Now we distribute. So distribute the cosine v. That gives you cosine of u cosine squared of v minus sine of u sine of v cosine of v. And then instead of going to the sideways, I'm going to add it here. Plus, if we distribute the sine of v, we're going to get sine of u, sine of v, cosine of v, plus, so sine times, so it's going to be plus cosine of u, sine squared of v. And very similar to the previous example, this term is exactly the same as this one. This one is minus, this one is plus, so you get 0. So you're left with cosine of u, cosine squared of v, plus cosine of u, sine squared of v. Now, notice that the cosines of u's are the same factor, so we can factorize it out, and you're left with cosine squared of v plus sine squared of v. And we know by identity that cosine squared of v plus sine squared of v is equal to 1. So you're left with cosine of u times 1, which is just cosine of u. And that will be the problem. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If not, ask me in class. Thank you.